Hey guys, this is Mr. Don Savage, and I stream on Twitch on a MacBook Air. Crazy, right? I know I am like a golden unicorn right now, and it is important for me to do this video because I don't think a lot of people do this, and I wanted to share my settings and how I make it work. So there is some things that you can do, you can't do, and part of all of this is for you to know what you can do, and that's the most important part. I have messed around with settings for months, and I have finally found something that works for me, and you'll be able to see all of that in the video. Before I get into all of that, I just want to take a moment to thank you for watching, and also if you like the video, subscribe to my Twitch. Also follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. You'll be able to see when I am live and have some more insight on who I am, and obviously come through in the stream. You'll see all the fun that we like to have on stream with Mr. Don Savage, with the Don Mob, and I will happily have you on stream and have a good conversation, have a good time with me. So that is what I wanted to say before we jump right into it. So let's go. All right, guys, the first thing that we're going to do is look at the MacBook Air that I have. This is a MacBook that I believe I got in June 2020. This is not the base model, as you'll see that I have the quad core i7 and the 16 GB memory. Another upgrade that I did was to get the higher storage. So we're talking about the 500 gigabytes. It was important for me because I run a lot of programs. I do some Photoshop and all of that, which brings me to the other point that is important to mention. I never got this MacBook with the intent of streaming. It just happened that I started streaming and this is the computer I have available. Another thing I want to mention is I don't use dual display when streaming. I have a single display where I keep my Streamlabs, and through my AverMedia capture card, I have the second screen that has my game on it. All right, now we're going to look at the settings I have for my Streamlabs OBS. You'll see that for streaming, the output, these are the settings that are important to look at. So right now I am on an audio track 2 encoder software X264. Rate control CBR, bitrate is at 2000, and CPU usage preset ultra fast, then none. So these are the settings I have for the output. Now we're going to look at audio. Right here, you'll see audio is pretty simple, 48, and then I have it on stereo. There is nothing here, everything is disabled. And lastly, when you look at the video, I'm recording, that's why I can't change anything, but this is what I have as settings. So 1920 by 1080, and then the output resolution is scaled down, so basically 1280 to 720 by cubic, common, and the 30 FPS. I don't go higher than 30 FPS because already at these settings, you will see some frame drops, nothing major. These are frame drops that happen when I'm changing scenes or if I have my browser open. We'll be able to talk in detail about everything that happens when it comes to my frames in a few seconds. All right, time to look at my scenes. These are the scenes that I have right here. It's a pretty simple stream that I run. I also don't want to add too many things because I don't want my frames to drop. So this brings to my next point where I said that sometimes I drop frames. My frames are dropped when I switch scenes, and these scenes will bring my FPS, I would say, a maximum down to 26 frames about. I'm going to show you what my video looks like. This is the video. It's a loop, and I'm able to play audio in the back. We'll be able to talk about other apps that I'm able to run in the back in a few seconds. And this is how it looks right now just by switching it here while recording. You'll see my frames went down, should I say, and my CPU went up. right here, you see back to normal, 30 frames per second, no issue. This is more of a recording issue. It usually doesn't go that high. My CPU when streaming is usually at an average, I would say, of 53% with the scenes that I have, and that is considering that I have my capture card that is in my live main screen. But besides that, there is nothing that is really major that happens with my frames when streaming. I do have to mention that my browsers, I've tried several. I've tried Chrome, Opera. When I have my browser open, it will cause some frames to drop. Therefore, I do not use my browser on stream when I'm live. And um, you'll see, however, that when it comes to having other apps open, I have loopback that will have my other audio settings when it comes to uh, not only having a mic. You'll see that this is my stream output. So I have Farrago and Opera, but that's not active. Spotify works when I have it open, and you'll see Streamlabs here. So this is my stream set up on my loopback, which is something I run. And it's not because you're on a Mac that you can't do some great things. So you'll see that I also have my Farrago that is my basically my soundboard. So if I click, and just with that, I'm able to have a lot of fun sounds happen while I'm on stream. When something happens, I can put the sad or the classic but I'm ching, and this is a whole lot of things. So I have all my audio that I'm able to play easily on stream without having some drop frames. I also want to mention that on stream, when it comes to my camera and mics, I have some extra settings, especially on my mic. I have 4 filters on. Well, there's 3 right now. The compressor, I just removed it for now. Compressor is a very useful tool. I'm not going to go into all the settings, but I do have filters, so I do believe this influences the CPU usage. And normally, if I go on my main screen, which I won't do right now, I have a green screen when streaming, which also is something that will take a little bit of CPU, but I still am able to stream with no issues when it comes to frames. Alright guys, so that is how I am able to stream on my MacBook Air. I'm sure that you have some settings also that you found yourself. Let me know and we can all become better streamers just with that. I also wanted to mention that I stream with my consoles with a capture card, so that is also something to take into account, that I am not running games directly on my MacBook, which also helps a lot. I know I showed you also some programs that I use in the back end, like my Farrago and my Loopback, and those are things that don't affect my stream, and I'm sure you're curious to know why I use them and the usefulness of all of that. Especially the Loopback to me is like an essential when it comes to streaming on a Mac. And so you saw all of that. Like I mentioned, you can have your Spotify playing in the back, finding yourself a free playlist, free of rights, so you don't get DMCA'd. And that's pretty much what I have to say in this video. Naturally, there is a lot more things to cover about streaming on a MacBook, and I'm sure you'll be curious to know all of that. So put your comments down below and come back to me with some questions, and I'll be able to make some more videos for you. Other than that, hit the subscribe, hit the follow me on social media. with at Mr. Don Savage with Twitter and Instagram, and obviously on Twitch, where you will find me streaming. And that is it, folks. I hope you have a good day. I hope I was able to help, and we will be back soon.